I will join 100 Minecraft SMPs. I will get into wars. I will get married. I will start my own SMP and see a lot of the community's amazing creations. What do these SMPs have in common, and how much inspiration did they take from larger ones like DreamSMP and Hermitcraft? By the end of this journey, we will find out. My name is Zyphon, and this is Joining 100 SMPs. To complete this challenge, I have to join 100 multiplayer survival servers, or otherwise known as SMPs. Simple, right? However, to count for this challenge, an SMP cannot be something that anyone can join at any time. It can be private, it can be public whitelisted, it can have a troll under a bridge for all I care. As long as there is some obstacle to joining, it's fine. Because why not? Past and current SMPs count. This means that these SMPs will be added to the grand total. Let me begin by talking about the ones I was in at the time of beginning the challenge. A pretty large scale SMP I was invited to right before starting this challenge was the SMP on air. When I first got on, the YouTuber Crumb just started burying me. I was taking off a resource pack so I could not do anything. Why, Crumb? Why? I had a grand scheme. To build a large house in the sky. It would be so huge, everything would be covered in darkness, it would be great, and there's no rules against it, so why not? After getting a tour from Gavin, I embarked on my house building journey. As I build my giant house, let's talk about the sponsor for this video, Frag Pro Shooter. As I was in the process of visiting these SMPs, it was really hard for me to stop playing this best shooter of 2020. And I'm not even kidding when I say that, just ask my friends, which yes, I do have. Frag, which has over 70 million players, is celebrating its second birthday. In this game, designed for mobile devices, your primary objective is to destroy the enemy bunkers as fast as you can. You win by either being the first to demolish all 3 enemy bunkers, or by having more points when time runs out. You can accomplish this using the game's characters, of which there are over 90. Each one has its own abilities and powers. You can build a deck of these characters to follow whatever strategy you want. What isn't a strategy is being like me and falling off the side of the map. Why am I like this? There is a lot of characters such as Zap Girl, one of Frag's superstars who strikes her opponents. There's also Takeshi the Genius, who literally fights in a robot suit he made. Oh, and don't forget Archon, the demigod that obliterates his enemies using lightning bolts. There have been 3 other game modes added during the game's 2-year history, including 2v2, where you and a teammate combine parts of your deck to work as a team, Street Frag mode, which has a smaller map for faster paced games, and the newest one, Payload, where you escort your cart to victory. Using the clubs feature, I created the Penguin Army, which you should absolutely join. We'll turn the game into Penguin Pro Shooter. If you would like $6 worth of rewards for free to celebrate the second birthday, all you have to do is use the link in the description. You get 500 coins, a gold chest, and 50 diamonds. Thank you to Frag Pro Shooter for sponsoring this video. Let's check back my progress. As I continued to build my house, a bunch of people noticed and asked me about it. What's going on up here? Skyblock Let's Play? Oh, I'm building a floor to a house. A really big house. Oh, I see. My house started to garner even more attention from the player base, including Misha, who you might know as a kid from the Pokemon Go song. Even the admins began helping me. The base cast a dark shadow by spawn, but no one actually seemed to care. Alarms only started to begin ringing when I destroyed all the torches under the house. People began getting really upset. Did you happen to see who removed the torches? So I can hunt them down. Okay, this is pretty awkward. Someone who lived in a floating ship burned down my structure, but then went and repaired it when finding out that it was supposed to be a house. I was messaged by an admin asking if they could move my building. I waited a few days to respond to see if I could get away with keeping it there longer, but then I gave in and said yes. My house disappeared, but someone built a really nice little house that is shaped like me. My friend the Big Man 22 was invited not that long after, with an objective to annoy the YouTuber McYum. We kinda just followed him around and barely much else. The other SMP that I was currently in at the time of beginning the challenge was FutureSMP. I've met some amazing friends friends from Future. The server has a lot of lore, and even its own animatics. I was made the Secretary of Defense under President BigMan22 for saying that Rocky IV was my favorite movie. I put more time into this server than nearly any other server. My friend Goobertella has an insane house with a lot of well-built areas. Another friend, Mysticat, has a nicely walled area. The talent is evident, and I'm forever grateful to have been invited. I will now talk about the past SMPs I was in, and they will be pretty quick since I barely recorded any footage on them. Yoshi's Island was started by my brother, and was mainly a mushroom island. Cosmic SMP was a creator SMP that I played on for a while. I went out on a pretty weird note. Parlor SMP was a server made for a private creator Discord I'm in, and included people like Sipover and Dizzy TJ. Perhaps the most impactful of these on the SMP community, however, was the largest SMP. This SMP's selling point was having more creators than any other private SMP. You know how a lot of SMPs start off with everyone logged in at the same time in the same place? Yeah, now we can go on to the SMPs that I joined for this challenge. I have a bunch of Twitter stans, and one day, they decided to start an SMP. They knew I was doing this challenge, so besides the fact that the SMP was literally named after me, I was a perfect person to invite. I tried to build a dirt house, but my efforts were thwarted by a tiny ninja, who wanted the ability to say that he killed me. I was slain with a wooden axe, hence beginning the Axe War. The entire war was just basically trading kills, and in the end, we both agreed to a treaty. Tiny would get the wooden axe that killed me, and I would get everything else. Pretty fair terms if you ask me. The war ended, and I set up a memorial. May the Axe War never be forgotten. The Logic SMP is a server run by someone named Logicologist, a good friend of mine and fellow co-organizer of the Minecraft event Retro Rivals. By the way, watch May 15th. I got to see his little area he set up on a mushroom island. While I did not get to see much of the server build-wise, I learned about how the plugins used for the server are all custom. The SMP has a tight-knit community where the main developer, Logic, constantly adds the things that the server's players want. The SMP's players include the majority of staff from my Discord server, and speaking of, if you'd like to join a community with a lot of events and some pretty cool people, you should join the Zyphon network Discord. The perfect place to get to know others who watch these videos, suggest new ideas for me to try out in the future, and overall have a good time. To finish this summary of my Logic SMP visit, I built a house and got to see an Enderman farm. Overall, I'd say this SMP has a very unique way of doing things compared to the others. I posted a tweet on my Twitter about joining SMPs, and got a message from someone named Hypnoblade. I was invited to some private factions SMP. I walked all the way to some given coordinates, and I chatted with the server during this journey. When I arrived, it turned out that I was given the wrong coordinates. Why? I just left the sign and left. I had an amazing time visiting the Grape Gang SMP. There's a lot to see at Spawn, such as a museum for fan art and Tesco. Dave the Phantom is an important symbol on the server of an endangered species that can no longer spawn. I also found this amazing QR code. The server also had some nice mob farms and this massive area that took a long time to make. I left my mark on the server by leaving some signs and signing some books. I am glad to have joined the Grape Gang. The expired SMP welcomed me with open arms. People were excited to see me get on, and I got creative mode. I guess it's that easy. The events of my visit can pretty much be summed up by me getting teleported to different people's bases and the members wanting screenies. It was fun, and I enjoyed meeting a bunch of the players, I must say. Since I was given creative mode, let's just say I left my own Easter eggs. I also built this futuristic pathway that I'm obsessed with building for some reason. Towards the end, we had some photo ops, and I passed around a bunch of signed books. For a server called Expired SMP, the community was pretty vibrant. A lot of you don't know this, but I'm Ace. The reason I bring this up is because I've been able to join some LGBT+ servers. One of them was called Gaycraft, owned by Hannah Wavelight. The main spawn area is modeled after the main Canadian Parliament building, Centre Block. The building is riddled with a lot of small details and hidden areas. After this tour, I can't look at a painting without thinking there's a secret behind it. As far as the server's buildings are concerned, some people decided to build entire towns, while others went for one grand building. Some parts were just filled with memes. One of the most interesting members I learned about was the Pumpkin, who built pretty much everything out of pumpkins. He even logged in on Halloween to trap mobs with pumpkins on their heads in boats. I love what the resource pack does to mobs, and man is it sometimes confusing. I was also invited to another LGBT SMP called Gay SMP. The server was mostly a humble little town, revolving around a village with a close community. I really enjoyed the builds and the time I spent. Now it's time for a lightning round. How many SMP visits can I describe in 1 minute? Let's find out. The Soulscapes SMP has a nice looking marketplace and spawn area. Friendcraft has 2 notable houses. The houses on Saracord SMP look absolutely amazing. The parts of the Rift SMP that I saw look nice, especially the giant Fade statue. I walked by quite a few areas on Idiotcraft, and the giant high-rise tower really left an impression on me. The Glitched SMP has some well-designed statues and houses. Midas's Vanilla SMP was a very wholesome community to visit, and I ended the tour by building a little house. Toadstool SMP looks like it has a lot of history. I really like the election area and the mustache ducky. Techno SMP was started by Meg Zyphon Techno and had some nice houses made by others in the community. We fought and beat the Ender Dragon. Another dragon fight happened in an SMP I was invited to by Lumbrubpoo. The IKEA SMP has a nice little town area with a lot of cool places. I love the duck houses and motel building. There's even builds in the sky. I was trapped in a chest area on Pogging, but used replay mod to peek outside. Lightning round over. I was able to describe 12 of my SMP visits in that time, bringing the grand total to 25. Don't throw your penguins off the ledge yet, as there is plenty more in store for the rest of this video. Let's resume. I saw that I had a realm invite to the Big Man 22's Superior SMP. This is what happened.
Oh my, you actually joined? Oh,
what
wow.
were you expecting?
No, this is good. This is good. I'm Big Man. Hold on, this zombie is just gonna smack you up. I swear. Oh.
I can fight.
Combative. Oh yeah. Oh, you're doing the zombie dirty too. Not even showing no remorse. Anyway, so welcome to Superior SMP.
What does your server have to offer?
Oh, we have a ton of members. Very active. Well, not super active, but they're members, 100%.
Okay, who is on the server?
We have the Fire Breath Man, right? Now hold your horses. All right, that's already pretty big, but we have Bad Boy Halo, all right? Dream, HanXX Rose, all right? Ranboo, he's here. All right, Technoblade, you know him. With Tommy in it.
Do these people even know they were invited to the server?
Maybe, you know, my thought process right now is that they just don't have the time to join. They also haven't accepted the invite, but they're going to, I think, maybe, hopefully. And no, they will. They will.
Do you think there's anything on the server that would interest them? You know?
Well, yeah, no, you follow me. So this is our community house. This is it. This is Dog with Collar. You notice on the dog has a collar on. Hence the name, Dog with Collar. It's kind of like it's not really a play on it, just is a dog with a collar. Yeah.
Wait, the dog has the same color scheme as you. Is that a coincidence?
No. This is the pit. You know, you like the SMP though, right? You really enjoy it? Did you see the pit? You saw the pit, right? The pit that's right here?
I saw the pit alright. Oh. Well, I think that's my cue to go.
I am.
See
You can't
ya.
run. No, you're running. You can't run. That's
no,
not
I'm leaving.
What are you doing? There's water. They're about to swim. Can penguins? Yeah, penguins can swim. They can't fly. That's what they can't do. I can't swim though. You're walking real far back.
Well,
you are just walking.
See ya, big man.
Oh, see.
After that strange visit, I came to the realization that most survival realms fit the criteria I laid out for the SMPs I can join. I asked people to invite me to their Java Edition realms, which would help me get some of my SMP visits out of the way. Evan Inc.'s The Good Realm was the next realm I visited, and I was able to tour the server's various locations. Later on down the line, because I did this challenge over quite a long period, I was able to see Evan Inc.'s new SMP, which also had some pretty good builds. I really enjoyed the train station. Some of the other earliest realms I joined included Aaron07's Realm SMP, which was simple but humble. And there's also Astro SMP, which had a lot of sights for me to behold. One interesting genre of SMPs I discovered through my tours is a type where there's a small world border. The SMP that introduced me to this concept was 100SMP. This server began in a 100 by 100 space. The world border would expand when the wither was killed, but is also capped to go up to 200 by 200. The world also has some pretty sweet looking farms and builds. On the scoreboard to the side, there was a monster kill leaderboard, and I was able to beat some of the SMP's regular members. Another SMP of this sort is the World Border SMP. It also made use of space, and had a little area in the sky. I built a little house and got a pet fox that I named Penguin. In the number 4 Cosmic SMP, I met someone named Freshie. He happily invited me to an SMP that he created, called the Freshie SMP. The SMP mostly revolves around one main area that has quite a few houses. I needed a house, so I declared war on I Am Top Hat. I killed him, took all his stuff, and won the house. I just keep winning wars, what can I tell you? I did some redecorating and left a little sign by one of the server's landmarks, the water tree. Of all the SMPs I've joined, the Cubscriber SMP was definitely at the top in terms of builds. The people on this server all go above and beyond. So if you don't know, CubFan135 from the popular SMP Hermitcraft has a private SMP for his Twitch subscribers. With the type of content he makes, it is no surprise that his subscribers are into doing the same type of stuff. When I first logged on, there were resources I could take. My 2 tour guides, Omnicron and Arcane Axolotl, gave me some stuff from their shulker boxes. We spent some more time by spawn, where I gave my tour guides memorabilia of my visit. We embarked on a journey to the shopping area. What I saw astounded me. A ton of map art was made by manually placing blocks, and these aren't just simple map arts, it's enough to make even Bob Ross cry. The Spring District was another masterpiece, masterfully crafted by masters. Axolotl showed me an area that they put a ton of time and energy into, and oh golly, it's breathtaking. There's a zoo with every mob that can survive in the overworld. Not only that, but it's surrounded by an entire area whose landscape was replaced with soul sand. According to Axolotl, their soul sand play statistic is over 270,000. If you placed all of this soul sand side by side, the length would span longer than an American football stadium. Before I left, I got to see some more of the server, and it did not disappoint. The Cubscriber server really left an impression on me. This SMP showed me that when it comes to survival Minecraft, if it's something that can be built, it will be built. Never forget that. The story of my visit to the Kozo SMP is a pretty interesting one. I actually promised to join the server many months ago, way before I even thought about this challenge, but I would only join after I finished the video that I never even finished. The Kozo SMP had a statue of me that went through a lot of history. They were waiting on my visit for the longest time, and there I was, not joining. One of the members even made an April Fool's joke about finally getting me on. This all changed when I finally visited, and what I saw was just chaos. There was quite a crowd, and at times, it was difficult to tell what was going on. I was teleported to Toasted Water's far out base, which he didn't want most people visiting, because a lot of people try to steal.
You think you can steal his stuff?
You trying to rob me, Zyphon? You trying to rob me?
Yes. An entire overworld section of the map was just replaced with the Crimson Forest. I waited a long time to visit Kozo SMP, and I will say this, my visit turned out quite interesting. It's time for a mid-video comment shoutout. Every video I give a shoutout, and today's winner is Melodic Vortex. For a chance at a shoutout, all you have to do is comment on this video. You can say anything, and you don't even have to subscribe. I will choose a random comment and put it in my next video. If you want a chance to be included in a video like this, you should follow me on Twitter at ZyphonYT. I've been actively telling everyone about this challenge, and I barely had a big enough account to pull this off. Dude really be helping me, and I'd appreciate it. Anyways, back to the video. I was invited to the rivaled SMP by Ava. Everyone had villager heads for some reason. I was given creative mode, which gave me a good idea. When I asked for crazy ideas to try in SMPs, my friend Mysticat told me to build one of their redstone creations. I actually went and took this idea seriously. I decided to recreate Misty's laser door, which turned out great. My requirements for each SMP included each server being a survival server. I didn't say anything about mods, and in fact, I was open to joining modded survival servers. The first of these servers I joined was the Origin Community SMP. The server uses what's called the Origins mod, where you can choose to play as an Origin with special abilities. I chose the Elytrian, which gives you a permanent Elytra that doesn't take up an armor slot. The server was huge with a ton to do. I got to settle in an area with my tour guide and began construction of a small dirt house. I think we made it look pretty good for a house that was never supposed to be taken seriously. I loved seeing the builds the server had to offer, especially a floating area. The Dawning SMP was another SMP I played on that had the Origins mod. When I logged on, I killed a bunch of fish for some reason. I still don't know why. The tour guide showed me a bunch of the bases that were created for some of the origins. There was a nice avian base, and I also got to see one for a few of the nether related origins. We also passed by a sweet looking nether house. A lot of people were asking me to join their Minecraft Bedrock Edition servers, which I did not have. I usually turned every one of those requests down, but when I set up a system where people could set up times for me to visit their servers, I got one with a realm invite that I could not use. I saw the potential in joining Bedrock SMPs, so I went ahead and bought the entire game. Yes, I literally bought Minecraft Bedrock Edition just so I could play on this one server. I freaked out a bit when my friend Alex told me that Minecraft Java Edition users could get Bedrock for free, but then I looked it up, and yes, that was a thing, but no, it was expired. Hey, at least I didn't waste money, but then again, I could have gotten it for free earlier, but who cares? The tour was pretty good, although the resource pack kept lagging my game. There was a lot of DeBaby, and some nice looking locations. With me now joining servers on Bedrock Edition, a whole new world of SMPs were opened up. Another one I joined is called Fox SMP. The members were pretty excited when I hopped on. For some reason they trapped some witch. What is it with SMPs and trapping mobs? The main area is Locksville and contains places like the Cube. The bottom floor is where an election took place. Away from the main buildings was a nice looking Dutch boat. There's no word I can think of to better describe this SMP than wholesome. Thank you for the invite. Valhalla MC was another Bedrock server I was now open to joining. After a bit of travel, I got to see a pretty cool area. There is a heavily mined out chunk. Not only that, but a lot of room for nether storage. The brewing house was one of the last places I saw on the tour, which I really enjoyed seeing. This was a pretty nice realm to join, and I'm glad I was able to hop on. The PS Rice SMP was one I joined without many builds. It may have not been the largest, but to me, it really showcased part of what it means to be an SMP. It's not about the builds, or even how long the server itself lasts. It's about friendship and working together. I played around for a bit and then left. My friend Skyara invited me to her Goggy SMP. The meeting was fascinating to say the least. This is what happened. I've always wondered, why does your mouth go inside of your eye?
Welcome to my humble abode.
This is a server? I mean, I knew there were Zyphon stand servers, but this is taking it a little too far.
No. I have to show you my true prized possession. You're gonna love this.
What tells me I'm not going to?
Right over to my humble hut.
What is this? Is that Goggy?
Goggy and I live together in the mountainside.
Is this some kind of weird fantasy that you don't tell anyone else about?
This is real. This is all real. Wait, come back.
No.
Do you want a picture of Gagi? This is a very rare item in Minecraft.
Oh, easy. Wait, you have keep inventory on, never mind. Well, off to the desert. Wait, did you TP to me?
No.
What did he do to this iron golem?
He's a Gagi fan. Gagi can save him.
Thank you, iron golem.
This is a 1/8 of you.
This is one. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this was the weirdest SMP ever.
Well, I'm sure you'll remember it as a fond time.
It is time for Black Hole Blitz. We will see how many SMPs I can describe in 2 minutes. Ready? Go. The Sky SMP was a Bedrock Edition skyblock world with some progress made. Dart SMP was jam-packed with all sorts of cool creations like mob farms and skyscrapers. Draven SMP had some notable builds such as a nice treehouse and a revamped woodland mansion. The mansion was a community effort to work on. Zyphon Pride invited me to their Pixelmon SMP, where I fought in Pokemon battles to become the very best pip-up trainer. I also got a gift at the end of the tour. AEEI SMP was mainly a humble little town surrounded by a wall. On Natural Leaf, I completed a parkour course. Afterwards, I completed a triple Neo twice in a row. In Dank Memescraft, a bunch of people were excited to see me. I got to see and join a town called Slimy Sewers. I was shown around Stardust SMP and even got to pull off a bedrock prank. Not only does Netherus SMP have working vehicles, there's also some sweet looking jets you can sit in and some sick looking aircraft carriers. Mona SMP has quite a variety of alluring houses, and I really enjoyed looking at them. Also, I think I upset the Enderman. Apple SMP is owned by Apple Bay, who has amassed quite a Twitter following. Not only are the creations cool, but so are the people. I got to play Jackbox with them one night, and had fun. Carest invited me to an SMP where I looked around, then everyone worked together to help me build a house. I got to see a beautiful bird's eye view of a portion of Calamity SMP, and was taken in by the Anarchist spell. The Boat SMP is a small but tight-knit community. I built a house with them. The BND SMP has a lot of underground areas, and a nice minecart ride. In Chunglandia, I tried to fill as much of my inventory as possible with bamboo. I received a nice greeting at the phenomenal Minecraft experience. I got to see a cool trading farm, and had a fist fight. On an Origins SMP, I explored a bit and built a fake house on an island. MC Gang used a pre-1.17 snapshot, and I got to see a ton. The YouTuber Capel invited me to her realm, which was mostly by a village. Black Hole Blitz over. We got through 20 SMPs in that time, bringing the grand total to 63. Now it's time to continue. On the Gold SMP, I spawned in a pretty nice looking town. I was greeted with a barrel full of gear. I also got some netherite pretty quickly. There were some high-rise buildings, and there was this one place that said invited people only. I am a penguin, so I figured I'd be able to let myself in to see what's up. When I went into the attic, I found... Apparently, I left the moment before the owner logged on, so big rip. Scuffed SMP was a nice experience. The people who run it appear pretty welcoming, and the players in the community also appear to be pretty nice to each other. I found some stone bricks, and used them to build a small little house. Even if this is scuffed, at least it is in a good way. The Awesome Mario Bros SMP is a server from the YouTuber Awesome Mario Bros. The server has other Mario plushie content creators, like Crazy Mario Bros and Super Mario Logan YTP. I received a pretty nice greeting when I logged in, and some notable locations I got to see included this giant treehouse and a nice roller coaster. If you were to remove the Mario Bros from the SMP's name, it would still be fitting. Now I must say, of all the SMP tours I was given, Mythos SMP was by far the most prepared. The server is absolutely insane, both in terms of builds and community. Mythos is a very roleplay heavy server. In fact, it was made to stand out from other SMPs. Its main goal is to tell a compelling story. They have custom NPCs, cutscenes for their live streams, basically everything you can imagine. My server visit got turned into a bit of a storyline. I spoke to some NPCs, while my tour guides voiced their lines.
Hey folks! I realize that I should be rather angry with you for your recent betrayal of my trust, but I suddenly feel much more energetic and pleased to see you for the sake of expressing my true character for Zyphon and his tour. Anything I can do for you while we're here?
In Mythos SMP, every player has a unique power, trait, or story to make the various perspectives interesting. And trust me, doll, there are many perspectives. There are also a dozen races to explore, and all of the races have a specialty and a weakness to make them all different and compelling for the audience. We make sure that we keep our stories different and entertaining, while encouraging the audience to check out the various perspectives. That work for you, doll? Great! Pirates! Didn't know they were part of this world too.
You think in a world with demon hybrids, cat girls, gambling, sea monsters, dungeons, and overall the elements of either a normal RPG or a pretty decent anime, that there wouldn't be pirates? You gotta populate the ocean somehow, hun. That's where I come in. I'm the shameless pirate captain of an all-female crew that purposely threatens and extorts towns out of their money.
Towards the end, I got to see the Nether, and this happened.
It's Rowan!
Wow. Hello there, players. Oh, the joy I will have taking care of you and this universe. 2 birds in 1 stone. Anyways, have fun with the gift I've given you all. And I see you brought a guest. Hello there. And goodbye!
We need to go kill that thing. What is this thing? It's the Watcher! We need to kill it!
Wow, it really doesn't take arrow damage.
I get in
Work
there.
together, we can kill it.
Maybe we can knock it off the edge?
Maybe.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
Well done!
We did it.
Watch it
Rowan's
burn.
Going
Burn!
once again.
Overall, if you're looking to watch an SMP with extremely talented and dedicated members, Mythos is one to look out for. When I got into a Discord call for my Logcraft tour, one of my tour guides, DGC, had some weird name with the word accountant at the end. Because I'm hilarious, I've been calling him by the nickname The Accountant ever since. Some notable places I got to see were the shopping area, the Wheat Church, the White House, and an area with floating islands. One interesting thing I learned about the server is that they had a 24-hour streamathon, where during a 24-hour period, at least one person was streaming on the SMP at all times. I broke a boat that's been spawned in the world for a while, which was apparently grounds for war, at least with one person. My tour guide showed me who I apparently started a war with, and we absolutely wrecked his farm. Towards the end of the tour, my tour guides threatened to kill me, so I flew away. I lured them into another bed trap, and ended up dying. Make that twice actually. No, 3 times. I will say, of all my SMP visits, Void SMP was the strangest. When they scheduled my visit, they told me to wait until 4:20 PM. When I got on, I teleported to Beatoff, who had a surprise. To break the news to you, today, you are being married to this dog. Isn't that exciting? Why? I'm not sure actually. What if I just don't want to get married? Well, we didn't plan for that, but I guess we'd have to kill you. Now, are you ready? I looked around. I was nervous. Do I go through with the wedding, or do I choose to run? I chose the latter. No! I didn't expect this! I ran away as far as I could. The 2 others on the server, Beatoff and Sadface, couldn't catch up to me, so they had to use console. I got TP'd back for an intense fight. I won, but I got slash killed. I placed cobblestone all over the wedding, and took out my would-be spouse. I started attacking the audience, but I got trapped in some barriers and got corner killed. On the bright side, this counts as an escape. I got TP'd back and once again, escaped by placing some blocks. I went and attacked Beatoff, but got slash killed as I went to craft a weapon. Beatoff said that he's unsubbing and closed the server. I have no idea what just happened. Omega SMP was an amazing server to visit. I could tell that the people who play on it are really dedicated to the server. The shopping area had a hitman. I also had the opportunity to visit Freddy Fazbear's. Therapist Island is a masterpiece, and I like how they decorated the stronghold area. Politocraft was an intriguing server that had different nations. I got to see amazing locations such as Belandis City, Novoskia, Triviality Falls, and Emerald Bay. Since the server does have a long history, there are also places that have been run down. SMPLive is a realm divided along 2 main factions. There's Chaos Cove and Raylandia. Each one has its own aesthetic, with Raylandia being the more colorful. A little area on the server is called Pinktown because, you'll never guess why, The buildings are pink. One of the pink houses had Skeppy's head right next to George Not Found's. In response, I sent Skeppy this cursed image of his Minecraft skin. Overall, I'd say SMPLive is a pretty fitting name. My most chaotic tour had to be from Frog 1. I was getting a bunch of stuff from every direction, and I couldn't tell what was going on. I got to make a beacon, which is cool. I did get an actual tour, and what I got to see looked quite nice. I noticed I had a dragon egg, so I thought it would be hilarious if I passed it on to somebody else. When I went to the SMP's Discord server after the tour, I saw this being discussed. Where's the egg? Did they throw it? I don't know. Why? Because I finally got all the fake eggs back. Oh no. Was they not supposed to drop it? The next SMP is Dreamcraft. The server seeks to have a similar vibe to Hermitcraft, but for anyone. They have a main server and a light server, the latter of which anyone can play on. The best builders on the light server get invitations to the main one. They've insisted on the server being unique, and I can agree to that. Dreamcraft is its own gem, and I love it. Thank you for the invite. I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to include 24Karat Craft. Anyone can log in and walk around, but only whitelisted players can actually properly participate in the SMP. Or in other words, only whitelisted players are considered actual members. I asked my Twitter what I should do about this server, and the majority of the respondents said that it should count. I got the whitelist and enjoyed looking around the server. Buildverse is a server started by my friend Alex. I was running low on SMPs to join, and she helped me out by starting one. When I looked around, I loved to see how much progress was made in such a short amount of time. The server also has quite a few people I know. Buildverse gets a big thumbs up from me. We just got through 76 SMPs. That's absolutely insane, and there's still 24 to go. The sheer amount of time and planning it took to arrange these meetings and get all the footage was huge. I really do appreciate the hospitality and kindness shown by each SMP. I'd really like to thank everyone who made this possible. Each SMP visit was interesting in its own right. Still, let's be honest, if I keep talking, not only am I going to keep repeating myself, but I'm also going to keep repeating myself. Here's a little something to celebrate the generosity shown and sum up the events for most of the rest of these SMPs. As I was running out of new SMPs to join, and because why not, I decided to start my own SMP. From most of my failed SMP visits, I noticed that a lot of the SMPs I joined were made using something called Minehut, a server dedicated to helping people start their own SMPs. A completely unique concept, and I'm sure no already huge Minecraft server is going to release anything similar when I'm in the process of editing this video. Because of how little planning I put into the server, I called it RushedSMP. It's realistic already. I made a spawn area that should remind you of any other SMP. After that, I started inviting people. There won't be any rules, but only because I can't actually be bothered to moderate the server. Is it a bad sign I don't know the answer to this question? People started logging on, it was great, and I couldn't wait to see what progress is made. One day later, I logged back in. I was not surprised to see lava casts. That's just a standard for any anarchy server. Apparently somebody tried to become mayor. There's also a glorious Minehut shrine I don't even know anymore. As I was looking at the garden by Humble Hannah, the server crashed. This says a lot about our society. When the server got back up, I got to see an area where a few people settled. For some reason there were signs everywhere. Marina Moby built a cozy blackstone house, which I really liked. There were other things nearby too. Towards the end, y'all kinda just messed around and took a screenie. The server may have only been around for 25 hours, but it still managed to go through a lot of progress and bring enjoyment to many people. Thank you to everyone who contributed and played. After all this time, I finally joined 100 SMPs. Did I miss anything in that time? My upload schedule?